Campers, it's me, Ari Lehman, the first Jason Voorhees. From Friday the 13th, I'm here with AJ, and he's got the juiciest slice ready for you. It's dripping with blood. Jason never dies.
What makes a horror kill memorable, terrific, even in some way profound or poignant? Let's explore. Thanks for checking this out. If anything about it trips your fancy, please like, subscribe, and share.
Yes.
Without further ado...
I'd like to kill somebody. Say that again. I'd like to kill somebody. Let's mean you go for a ride, Otis.
Henry and Otis, a pair of miscreants living on the fringes of society, make a match made in heaven, or more appropriately hell, until they're not.
That's Latin. Bet you didn't know I knew Latin, did you?
Big fucking deal.
What?
They kill for fun, pleasure, and power. Henry has taken Otis under his wing and, quite a steep learning curve, is teaching him the finer points of getting away with murder.
If you strangle one and stab another, and when you cut up, when you don't, then the police don't know what to do. They think you're four different people.
Until their relationship's eventual burnout.
Look who's talking.
What's your mouth, Otis?
I'm sorry, Henry.
Whether a good Samaritan who made the mistake of pulling over, or a TV salesman who foolishly gave them static, they take life indiscriminately, culminating in a vicious attack on a family carried out purely for fun.
Bring her in. Bring her in, Otis. Sit down.
This trio of exits exists as examples of ruthless barbarism, but what makes them extraordinary? This all plays out on a television screen within the frame, which seems purely an artistic choice, until the camera pulls back.
Let's go.
And we learn Henry and Otis, having recorded the events on a stolen camcorder, are back at home reliving their crimes with relish.
What are you doing?
I want to see it again.
Reveling in their cruel exploits. The footage gives a deep glimpse into their twisted psychologies. Henry, for all his psychopathy, has his pet peeves, and isn't as vulgar and sick as Otis, schooling him to stop when he gets particularly depraved.
Otis! No, Otis! Otis! No!
Still, despite varying moral barometers, they're birds of a feather, a couple of raptors that moonlight as scavengers picking at the bones of society, as they cull the herd, driven by their whims and desires, unguided by conscience and compassion. Their cavalier attitude toward murder and defilement is not only scary, but highly disturbing, because they show just how far the spectrum of humanity can swing, from exceedingly decent and virtuous, to extremely deviant and murderous.
What do you mean?
It's either you or them, one way or the other. Ain't that right?
They care only for their gratification. Their victims exist only to be their playthings. Despite the statistical unlikelihood of being a victim of violent crime, Henry and Otis show that even in a relatively safe society, death in some form or other is always lurking.
Look at the world. It's either you or them.
The annihilated family is a symbol of this, of the unfairness and gratuitous nature of random violence, how it touches all of us. Even if it doesn't touch you personally, in which case you are fortunate, it's probably closer than you realize. The family were just minding their own business and living their lives, until unwittingly crossing paths with the predatory pair. By targeting and killing this by all metrics average family, they are lancing the most important aspect of the idealized American dream, as if the notion of family is a boil on the face of the nation rather than a beauty mark, exposing how safety is an illusion, and by even having a family you are making a gamble.
Open your eyes.
Brutal, callous, monstrous people, mostly men, commit atrocious crimes that ruin and end lives and decimate families. Is it any wonder people have, especially in well-to-do neighborhoods and area with high crime rates, steel shutters, guns, and security systems, when random thrill killers can show up on their doorstep at any time? Besides the creativity on display, what else makes these exits stand out? The very action of the killers filming their debased crimes. At the time, home camcorders were becoming more readily available, meaning home videos were much easier to produce on the fly. Video cassettes meant no more having to deal with spools of film or projectors.
You can use a gun. I'm not saying you can't use a gun, just don't use the same gun twice.
Even a pair of devious deviants like Henry and Otis had no trouble using the technology. This was maybe making a point about the potency of voyeurism, how even though they committed the acts, watching them back is a whole other level of thrill. That they could just record their murders gonzo style sure made it easy for them to relive their crimes. In that way, the film foresaw the social media age and the obsession with capturing the sickest and most extreme activities. I won't lead you to any particular videos, but trust me, plenty exist. It's not hard to believe had the tape survived Henry and Otis's exploits would have eventually found their way online. Finally, these incarnations of Henry Lee Lucas and Otis Toole aren't the most accurate representations of their inspirations. But they work well in a horror film, making some salient points about dark schisms that exist in modern society. I think we should be grateful the fictional counterparts are more capable than their progenitors. If the real Henry Lee Lucas had been as adept, cunning, and sinister as Mike O'Rourke's subtle and chilling portrayal, he may have actually been one of the most prolific serial killers, instead of one of the most famous false confessors. My advice to law enforcement: if someone's willing to confess to whatever murder is on the books, they're probably making a fool of you.
Most important thing is to keep moving. That way they might never catch up to you.
Well, I've about reached the end of the rope, so I won't leave you dangling. Thanks for hearing out my ramblings. Please share any refutations, opinions, accusations, japes, or other ideas in the comments below. And please join me for whatever I'm up to next time. Bye now.
Bye, creepy man. Keep it creepy.
You telling me you never killed anybody before? I ain't saying that.